I'm Aileen. Welcome back to my channel. This is Homeschool with the Clarks. Today I want to chat about essentials in writing, or EIW, and we're specifically going to take a deep dive into their level 6 EIW writing grammar curriculum. You can see this is very well loved. We have been using it since the beginning of the school year. We're in March right now. I don't know if I'll be posting this in March, but I'm filming it in March. So it is, it's very well loved, lots and lots of use. So I want to chat with you about it, tell you what it's like, what's included, what's not included, and give you a little peek inside. If you're new here, I am a homeschool mom of 4 kids, grades 8th, 6th, 3rd, and TK. Before I give you we'll flip the camera around and take a look inside, but I just want to chat about this curriculum first and tell you my thoughts and give you a better understanding of what's included, and then we will look inside. If you're brand new to Essentials in Writing, they have essentially the same format for every level, but they may have more lessons in one unit than the other. And it's broken into 2 units for the year. Unit 1 is grammar and Unit 2 is composition. So you spend the whole first part of the year really focusing on grammar. There may be some writing, but for 6th grade, it's on the grammar side, it's more along the lines of rewriting things to edit versus coming up with your own composition. Now I can tell you for level 8, they do a little bit more composition on the grammar side. 2 units, 78 lessons. Many of the lessons are multi-day lessons. So I'll show you when we look in the book, but it'll say at the top, day 1, day 2, day 3, if it wants you to break it up over multiple days. And then some of the lessons are just a 1-day lesson. It really depends on the content that they're covering. The grammar section covers parts of speech, sentence structure, and figurative language. And then the composition section covers a lot in level 6. And I think it's really wonderful because it covers so many different types of writing that you may come across as a student and as an adult in the world. And it gives a lot of practice. So they start out with paragraphs. That's how you start out the composition. After that, you write a narrative, you do a personal letter, you do some compare contrast writing. They teach you how to write a summary. You do write 1 essay with the option to do a second practice essay if you want. And then you end off the year with a research paper. And I believe that every level ends with a research paper, at least the ones I've seen, which we've done 5th, 6th, and 8th so far. And all of them end with a research project. We have not done it yet. 5th grade, we didn't get to it. There is so much in this curriculum that, at least for us, it's hard to get to all of it. And we didn't get to it last year, and I really wanted to just hone in on paragraphs and essays last year, so I was totally okay with that. But this year, we are intentionally skipping a couple of things in order to make sure we get to the research project at the end of the year, because I do want my 6th grader to be able to do that. Essentials in Writing does break things down into little chunks every day. They're very short lessons. They are video-based lessons. So you watch a video, at least on the day 1 of the lesson, you'll watch a video, and it's usually somewhere between 5 and 8 minutes long. They're in front of a whiteboard, breaking it down really, really well. And then you just do a little bit of work. I found it takes between 15 and 30 minutes a day to complete the lesson, depending on the student's motivation and also the assignment for that day. Before we jump into taking a peek inside of the curriculum, I would like to ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to my channel. All right, here is Essentials in Writing, Level 6. When you make the purchase, it comes with the book and digital access to the videos. I do want to just forewarn you, this book is very well loved. We're getting a lot of use out of it. I'm sorry it's not fresh and shiny and new, but I really just wanted to have my child really use this for a while before I gave you my honest thoughts. So let's get started. The first thing I want to show you, now there are a lot of markings in here because we're kind of jumping around, but here is the grammar section. You can see there's always an introduction to writing, and then it jumps into little sections within the Unit 1 of grammar. And then you get into Unit 2, composition. So we have a whole section on paragraphs. It does go over several different types of paragraphs. First, it just teaches about paragraphs in case your kiddo is not super familiar. And then it does expository, persuasive, and descriptive. And then that will feed into essay writing as they progress in the levels. And then we have a personal narrative. As you can see, they really break it up into chunks. And then these lessons are broken up into days as well. Not all of them, like the brainstorming is just one day, organizing is one day, but it gives you so many tools to be successful as a writer. After personal narrative, we have personal letter, writing a summary, compare contrast writing. They have one essay, which is the expository essay, which again, it's continued on this page. You can see there's a lot of lessons just for that essay to really make your student confident and not overwhelmed. And then you finish out the year with a research project. It's lesson 22, day 1. This is also day 1. So it's got a section for them to read, and then it's going to have them use a thesaurus and go ahead and write some things in here, and then they're going to have you edit this. So this is the grammar section. They will replace these words with better, stronger words and then rewrite. This is also still day 1. So this day, I would say, is a little bit longer than some of the other lessons. And honestly, I would probably break this up into 2 days for my students, but it definitely depends on the kiddo. So now you're rewriting sentences. So now we're still on vivid language, but we're on day 2. And you're going to actually write a few sentences describing your favorite animal. So I am wrong. There is actually some independent writing here in level 6 in the grammar section, but it's just this grammar section we haven't gotten to. So they're going to write some a few sentences, and the favorite animal, that's the topic that they choose. You're always welcome to make the topic about something your kid is interested in. If it's going to motivate them to write, then I feel like that's always a good thing. Here is lesson 22, day 3. And this one, they're reading an example, and then they're going to write a paragraph. Here is the starting sentence. The mall is busy in December. Again, you can use that, or you can change it if your kid is not wanting to write about a busy mall in December and using vivid language to describe it. They do also occasionally have these dangerous word lists that the kids will build, and that's just trying to work on making their writing more interesting by using cooler words. And so they'll take really simple words and write them here, and it's like they're not allowed to use those words, and then they come up with new words. We were looking at vivid language. Now we are at figurative language. You can see this little guy. This is the cartoon version of the guy who does the videos. He is really great at breaking things down on a whiteboard and making quick, simple videos that explain things really well. So they're going to learn similes, metaphors, personification. They're just going to work on adding figurative language by first identifying it in the paragraph and writing them down here. And then to finish off the grammar unit, we just have day 3 of figurative language here and here. Moving on to unit 2, composition. I did just jump forward to a section that we haven't written in yet. This is compare, contrast writing. It starts with an introduction. It assumes that your child doesn't know what this is and explains it to them. If they already know, great, it's just a review. Again, we have this little cartoon character guy. They give them a really nice visual worksheet to be able to fill in so that they can really organize their thoughts on comparing and contrasting. And they do have some suggestions here: lions, tigers, cars and trucks, student, teacher, or any 2 items you choose. They really break it down so that they can organize their thoughts. So they did a little brainstorming. Now they're using this graphic organizer to plan out their paragraph. And then they'll actually write out their first draft from their graphic organizer. This is all in the same day. And then lesson 60, they're going to write their differences paragraph. So they're going to use the graphic organizer again, write their first draft, teach them about revision. One day they edit, the next day they do their final draft. They can write it in here. We tend to use Google Docs, so my kiddo will type it up and then they'll glue their paper into the book. They do have extra lines on the back. And then they want them to check their draft again and check for, so now they're going to have them read it aloud and then check capitalization, punctuation, spelling, and then making sure they're not using words from that dangerous word list. They have the option to do more than one piece of writing when I was talking about the essay, but that applies to all of the writing sections. They always give an option for extra practice. We don't usually do this just because we only have so many days in the school year and we would just not get to everything. I am going to give you guys a quick flip through of the research project as well. I'm just going to flip through the pages so that you can see. There is also an option for assessments. You do have to purchase it separately. It's not something that we've used currently in our homeschool. And then here is our final lesson. You're going to go through and compare all of your compositions for the year. And you are done with Essentials in Writing Level 6. I hope that this video was helpful to you for deciding if Essentials in Writing is going to be right for your students. If you are looking for more information about this curriculum, I do recommend you also check out my video comparing Essentials in Writing EIW to Institute of Excellence in Writing IEW. I've used both curriculums in my homeschool and I do a side-by-side comparison for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.